Welcome to the Morning English Podcast. Listen, learn, and speak English daily.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Emma, and we are so happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Mark. Yes, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
We want to make sure you always feel super comfortable here. This is just a relaxed, safe place to learn real English without any pressure at all.
Exactly. Just sit back, maybe grab a cup of coffee or tea, and feel like you are hanging out with two good friends.
That is the best way to learn, honestly. Speaking of coffee, how is your morning going so far?
Well, it's going okay now, but I actually had a funny moment earlier at the cafe.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
Yeah, so the barista asked me how my day was going, and for some reason, I just completely froze. I mumbled something super quiet, spilled a little bit of coffee on my own hand, and practically ran out the door.
Oh, no. Wait, really? But you're usually so good at talking to people.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But in that moment, I felt so shy and awkward. And it's funny because yesterday a friend told me, you were so outgoing. But this morning, I was the complete opposite.
That is so relatable. I mean, we all have those moments. And actually, that connects perfectly to what we were talking about in today's deep dive.
It really does. Today, we are talking all about personality. Specifically, how to talk about your own personality in English.
Yes. We are going to learn how to describe who you really are using easy, everyday English that people actually use in real life.
We'll talk about why simple words sometimes fail us, and we'll learn some great vocabulary to help you sound much more natural.
It is going to be such a fun conversation. But real quick, before we jump in, if you enjoy learning English with us, please like this episode, subscribe to the show, and share it with just one friend who is also learning English.
Yes, please do. It helps us out a lot. So let's get started. I have a question for you and for everyone listening. Have you ever completely frozen when someone asks you, how would you describe your personality?
Oh, absolutely. I panic. I usually just grab like 3 really safe, simple words. I'll say, I am friendly, I am responsible, and I am nice.
Right, the classic safe answers. And sure, those words might be true. But saying I am friendly is kind of like showing someone a flat, boring photograph of yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't really show who you are in real life, moving around in the real world.
Exactly. Because human personality is not just one thing all the time. It changes depending on where you are and who you are with.
That is so true. Like, you might feel super confident talking about a project at work because you know exactly what to do. But then later that same night at a big party.
You might just stand next to the snack table by yourself.
Yes, just eating potato chips and hoping nobody talks to you.
I have definitely been that person at the snack table.
Same here. We are different people in different situations. And that is the first big problem with how we usually talk about ourselves in English. We use what I call the I am trap.
The I am trap. Okay, explain that for us.
So when you say I am responsible or I am impatient, you are using grammar that makes it sound permanent. It sounds like a rule that never changes.
Ah, I see. Like you are that exact way 100% of the time, from the day you were born until forever.
Exactly. And human brains love those simple rules because they are easy to remember, but it's usually not the full truth, right?
Right. It's too simple. So what is the solution for our English learners? How do we fix the I am trap?
Well, native speakers often use little phrases to soften their descriptions. We call them softening frames. Instead of the hard sentence, I am organized, you can say, I'd say I'm pretty organized.
Oh, I love that. I'd say I'm pretty organized. It
Oh,
sounds
geez.
so natural.
Try saying it with us, everyone listening. I'd say I'm pretty organized.
Great job. Another really common phrase native speakers use is tend to. You can say, I tend to be organized.
Yes, tend to. That is such a useful phrase. It just means that you usually do something most of the time as a habit. It shifts the focus from this is my entire soul to this is just my normal habit.
But wait, I have a quick question about that. If I just say, I tend to be easygoing, but then you look at my desk and see that I get super stressed if someone moves my pen, am I just lying?
That is a really good point. Just saying the phrase isn't enough. You have to prove it.
Right. You have to give an example or what we can call a mechanism of action.
A mechanism of action. That sounds very scientific. What does that mean in everyday English?
It just means you attach a real action to your word. Don't just give someone the adjective. Show them what it looks like in your life.
So instead of just saying, I tend to be responsible, what should I say?
You could say, I tend to be responsible. If I promise to finish a project by Friday, I always finish it, even if I have to work late.
Oh, I like that. You are giving proof.
Exactly. Let's look at a really common word like nice. People say I am nice all the time, but it doesn't really mean much. It's too basic.
Right. Everyone thinks they're nice.
So instead of nice, you can use a better vocabulary word. A great word is considerate.
Considerate. That's a beautiful word. Can you explain what that means for our listeners?
Sure. Being considerate means you actively think about other people's feelings and needs.
So how do we add the proof, the action, to the word considerate?
You can say, I try to be considerate. For example, I always speak quietly if I know someone in the house is sleeping. Or, I always remember my friend's food allergies before we go to a restaurant.
I really love that. You are showing a story from your life. Think about your own life, listeners. How are you considerate? What do you do to help others?
It makes your English sound so much more interesting and memorable, but this actually brings up a complicated problem.
Uh-oh, what kind of problem?
Well, giving examples is great, but what happens when two different people see you do the exact same action, but they use totally different words to describe it?
Oh, wow. Yes, perspective changes everything. The exact same behavior can be a wonderful compliment or a terrible insult, depending entirely on who is watching you.
It really is fascinating. Can we do some rapid-fire comparisons? Let's look at some positive words and their negative partners.
Let's do it. Let's start with two words we use a lot at work. Assertive versus bossy.
Good ones. So, the action is the same for both. Someone is taking charge, giving directions, and telling people what to do. What is the difference?
It comes down to respect. An assertive person tells you what they need, but they listen to you too. An assertive manager might say, we need to change our plan today. Here is why. What problems do you guys see with this?
Right. They're leading the team, but they want everyone to help.
Exactly. But a bossy person just gives orders. They just say, do this right now because I said so. They don't care about anyone else's thoughts.
So assertive is good and bossy is bad. It's the difference between driving a car safely and just running people over.
That is a perfect way to explain it. Okay, here is another pair. Confident versus cocky.
Oh, this is a big one. Again, the action is the same. It's someone who believes they're very good at something.
So what makes someone confident instead of cocky?
A confident person believes in themselves. They look at a hard job and say, I have the skills to do this, and if I don't know how, I will learn.
Right, they don't need to put anyone else down.
Exactly. But a cocky person always has to compare themselves to others. They don't just say, I can do this. They say, I am the best, and nobody else here can do this as well as I can.
Ugh, I definitely know some cocky people. Confident means I am capable. Cocky means you are bad at this. That is a massive difference.
Let's try one more pair. And this one causes a lot of arguments. Determined versus stubborn.
Determined is a great word. It means you keep trying to reach a difficult goal, even when things get really hard. You don't give up.
Right. Everyone loves a determined person. But stubborn is the negative version. You call someone stubborn when they refuse to change their mind, even when they are completely wrong.
Okay, wait, I have to challenge that a little bit. Is anyone actually just stubborn?
What do you mean?
Well, imagine I refuse to use cheaper materials for a product because I want it to be high quality. My team might say I am determined, but the finance boss who wants to save money will probably call me stubborn.
That is such a brilliant point. The action is exactly the same. You are not changing your mind.
Right. So the word people use to describe us often reveals more about what they want than who we actually are. Society labels us based on whether our actions help them or bother them.
Let's give the listeners an everyday example of that. Let's look at spontaneous versus impulsive.
Oh, this is a fun one. The core action here is making a very fast decision without planning, right?
Yes. So imagine it's a Friday afternoon. You suddenly look at your friends and say, let's skip cleaning the house, jump in the car, and drive to the beach for the weekend.
That sounds amazing. Your friends would cheer and call you spontaneous. It's a positive word because it's fun and the risk is very low.
Exactly. But what if you use that exact same fast decision-making to take all the money in your bank account and buy a used motorcycle 5 minutes after seeing a picture of it online?
Oh, boy. No one is calling you spontaneous then. Your family's going to call you impulsive. Or reckless.
The speed of your choice didn't change at all, but the danger changed. Impulsive means you did something fast that could really ruin your life.
Can you relate to this, listeners? Do you have a friend who is spontaneous? Or maybe a friend who is a little bit impulsive?
It's amazing how fast society judges us with these negative words. And because we are so afraid of being called bossy or impulsive, we start to hide our real personalities, especially in social situations.
That is so true. We overthink everything we do. And that leads us to a word that is so misunderstood today. Introvert.
Yes. The word introvert. People use it on the internet all the time. They think it just means someone who is shy or someone who hates people.
But that is not what it means in psychology, right?
Not at all. Introversion has nothing to do with being afraid of people. It is entirely about how your brain rests and gets its energy back. It's like a battery.
Okay, let's explain the battery idea because it is so helpful. If you go to a big party and you talk to everyone and you tell jokes and you have a great time.
But then when you go home, you feel completely exhausted. And you just need to sit in a quiet room by yourself for 3 hours to recharge your battery.
Yes. If you need quiet time to recharge your battery, you are an introvert. It's about how you get your energy, not social fear.
Exactly. Which is why we need to explain the difference between being shy and being reserved.
I always like to think of this like swimming in a pool. A shy person is someone who really wants to jump in the water and play with everyone, but they are just too scared. The fear stops them.
That's a great image. So what is a reserved person?
A reserved person knows exactly how to swim. They are not scared of the water at all. They just genuinely prefer sitting on the side of the pool with a good book, watching everyone else play.
I love that. Shyness is about fear. Being reserved is a choice. A reserved person can be totally confident when they talk. They just don't feel the need to talk all the time.
What about the opposite side? Let's talk about outgoing versus approachable.
Outgoing means you take the action. You walk across the room, you say hello first, you start the conversation.
And what does approachable mean?
Approachable is a wonderful word.
Well,
It means you have a warm smile and open body language, so other people feel safe coming over to talk to you.
so you can be a quiet, reserved introvert, but still be incredibly approachable. People still want to talk to you because you look kind.
Exactly. Now, taking all these personality words into the workplace is super important because the vocabulary you use at a party might sound terrible in a job interview.
Oh, for sure. You have to learn the special professional language. For example, never go to an interview and say, I am a hard worker.
Really? Why not?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a hard worker.
Because that is the basic expectation. It's like a car salesman proudly saying, this car has wheels.
That's hilarious and so true. So what word should we use instead of hard worker?
A great professional word is persistent.
Persistent. Can you break that down for us?
It means you keep working and trying, even when the project gets really boring or really difficult, you don't stop.
That is so much stronger than just saying you work hard. What if you want to say, I like working alone?
If you say, I like working alone, the boss might think you don't like the team. Instead, you say, I am a self-starter.
A self-starter. That sounds like you take initiative. It's a very positive way to frame it.
Here's another big one. Noticing small mistakes. If you catch typos and tiny errors, you are detail-oriented. That is a great word for a resume.
But again, this can become a negative if you take it too far, right?
Oh, definitely. If you spend 4 hours worrying about the color of a font on a simple email, you are no longer detail-oriented. You are a perfectionist.
And in a fast business, being a perfectionist can actually be a bad thing because it slows the whole team down.
It creates friction. And speaking of problems at work, how you handle arguments is the biggest test of your personality. Let's look at blunt versus diplomatic.
Oh, this is crucial. If your coworker shows you a new plan and you immediately say, that idea is terrible and the numbers are completely wrong, you are being blunt.
Right. You are just saying exactly what is in your head without any filter. You don't care about their feelings.
Yeah, and in most normal jobs, being blunt makes people very defensive and upset.
So we want to be diplomatic or tactful. How does a diplomatic person handle that same bad idea?
A diplomatic person focuses on the problem, not the person. They might say, I see what you're trying to do here, but I have a few concerns about these numbers. Can we look at them together?
Wow, that is so much better. You fix the same mistake, but you keep the person's dignity safe.
It takes a lot of self-awareness to speak like that.
Right.
Which brings us to the hardest part of talking about yourself in English.
I know what you were going to say. How do we talk about our bad habits? How do we own our flaws?
It's the moment everyone dreads in an interview or on a date. What is your biggest weakness?
And people always try to cheat. They give a fake weakness. They say, my biggest flaw is that I just care too much about my job.
Or, I am just too passionate. It is so obvious that you are trying to trick them.
It really is.
Okay.
So how do we answer this honestly without making ourselves look bad?
You have to use a specific formula. It has 2 parts, the trigger and the effort.
The trigger and the effort. Okay, let's practice this. Let's say my bad trait is that I worry too much. I am a worrier.
Okay, if you just say, I am a worrier, it sounds like you are always panicking. So first, name the specific trigger. When do you worry?
I could say, I tend to worry when someone changes the schedule at the last minute without telling me.
Perfect. You localize the problem. It's not everything, it's just sudden changes. Now, part two, the effort. What action do you take to fix it?
So when the schedule changes, I immediately write down a new plan and share it with the team. It helps me focus on action instead of worrying.
That is brilliant. You admitted a real flaw, but you showed that you know how to manage it.
Let's do one more example for our listeners. Let's say I am an overthinker. I think too much about small decisions.
Start with the trigger.
I tend to overthink things when I am given too much information at one time.
Great. And the effort.
So I have started giving myself a strict 30-minute time limit to read the information and make a final choice.
Boom. You sound incredibly honest and trustworthy. We don't trust perfection, you know. We trust people who know themselves and try to be better.
Exactly. Being honest about where you struggle actually makes people believe you more when you talk about what you are good at.
We have covered so much amazing vocabulary today.
We really have.
Right.
Let's do a quick recap. We learned that personality is not just a boring list of words. It's about the actions we take. We learned the phrase tend to soften our descriptions.
We explored some powerful word pairs. Assertive instead of bossy, confident instead of cocky, determined instead of stubborn.
We learned that being an introvert is about recharging your battery, and being approachable means you make others feel safe. And finally, we learned the trigger and effort formula for talking about our flaws.
It is so completely normal to have many different sides to your personality. You are not being fake if you're quiet at work, but loud and funny with your friends. Both of those people are the real you.
You are beautifully complex. And that brings us to our speaking challenge for today.
Listeners, we want you to practice. Think of one personality trait you believe you have. But here is the rule. You cannot use the adjective.
Right. If you want to say you are considerate, don't use the word. Tell a short story about something you actually did this week that proves it. Say it out loud to practice your real English.
Find that story, and you will find the truth of who you are. And try to practice your English a little bit every single day.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into personality. We are so proud of you for practicing with us, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Keep up the great work.